Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a seriously fascinating journey to help you uncover your very own identity as an educator. We're going to do this by exploring the foundational theories of teaching. If you've ever wondered what truly shapes the way a teacher commands a room, guides a student, or even just designs a daily lesson, well, you are absolutely in the right place. Here is our quick roadmap for today. First, we'll look inward at the future you. Then, we'll break down what a teaching philosophy actually is. After that, we'll walk through 5 major frameworks, and we'll wrap up by looking at how you fit into this incredibly rich heritage. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the future teacher. It's time to get a little introspective about who you are meant to be in the classroom. Okay, I want to start with a massive question directly from our source materials, Profundity of the Hour. What do you actually want to accomplish when you stand in front of a classroom? It's a huge question, right? Because before we even glance at a textbook or draft a lesson plan, teaching starts with personal intention. What specific qualities do you have that will enable your future learners to truly learn from you? Defining the traits of your future learner right alongside yourself as a future teacher is a critical first step. It's literally about building a bridge between who you are right now and who you want your students to become. Moving right along to Section 2, Anatomy of a Philosophy. Now that we're picturing our future classrooms, let's break down what an educational philosophy actually is. Here's the crucial takeaway. Every single teaching philosophy, no matter how academic or complex it sounds, boils down to your specific concepts on 3 distinct things. First, who is the learner? Second, what is the ultimate truth and good? And third, what exact methods are needed to bring that learner closer to that truth? Your answers to these 3 pillars, that's the absolute core of your teaching identity. That brings us to Section 3, 5 famous educational philosophies. Let's explore the menu of these 5 historical frameworks postulated by renowned educators. First step on the list is essentialism. And just like the name implies, this one is all about focusing heavily on the absolute essentials. It emphasizes transmitting traditional morals, values, and intellectual knowledge. The whole point here is to prepare students to become just, capable adult citizens. So, what does this look like in practice? Well, in an essentialist classroom, the teacher's ultimate goal is the mastery of traditional subjects. We're talking about the 4 basic skills: reading, writing, arithmetic, and right conduct. These are viewed as the absolute, non-negotiable building blocks for adult life. The curriculum is highly structured around math, science, history, foreign languages, and literature, with a laser focus on complete subject matter mastery. But what if the world isn't static? That very question leads us to our second philosophy, progressivism. Instead of anchoring exclusively to the past, progressive teachers want to develop intelligent citizens through a curriculum that constantly adapts. It responds to new scientific, technological, and social developments, meaning it's highly responsive to the students' actual current lives. In practice, progressivist teachers believe deeply in learning by doing. They essentially throw out the rigid, day-long lectures in favor of experiential methods. Walk into a progressive classroom and you're going to see games, puzzles, and field trips. The lessons are explicitly designed to relate directly to the students' personal experiences and the rapidly changing world around them. There is a stark contrast between the 2 approaches we've looked at so far. On one hand, you have the rigid, traditional mastery of essentialism, transmitting unchanging foundational knowledge. On the other hand, you have the fluid, experience-driven adaptability of progressivism, where the classroom evolves right alongside continuous societal change. It really highlights how radically different an educator's approach to the truth can be. Moving on to our third framework, perennialism. If progressivism is about adapting to the future, perennialism is about returning to our timeless human nature. It roots itself in Aristotle's famous idea that humans are, above all else, rational beings. Therefore, a school's absolute top priority is to develop the students' rational and moral faculties. If you visit a perennialist classroom, you won't see much vocational or technical training. Instead, you're going to see students actively engaging in dialogue and mutual inquiry. Teachers emphasize a deep understanding of history-rich content, placing a huge focus on the humanities. It's all about rigorously exercising those higher human faculties and reasoning skills. But wait, what about the individual? That's exactly where existentialism steps in. If the previous philosophies focused on society or universal logic, our fourth framework focuses entirely on the extreme uniqueness of the individual student. The main goal is helping students understand and appreciate themselves as totally unique individuals who have to navigate and choose their own way in the world. There's a powerful existentialist maxim: existence precedes essence. And in an educational context, it simply means that a student exists first, and their essence or purpose isn't predefined by some standard curriculum. The teacher's role isn't to tell them who to be, it's to help them figure out their own essence by exposing them to the various paths they can take in life. In practice, this gives students an incredible amount of latitude in choosing their own way and their own subject matter. Learning is often self-paced and self-directed, with a massive focus on individual creativity and self-expression. Teachers use tools like values clarification strategies to help students actively participate in their environment and to find their own place in society. Finally, we reach our fifth philosophy, which brings the focus entirely onto the mechanics of learning itself. This is constructivism. Here, learning is viewed as an active building process. Learners use their prior knowledge alongside new learning experiences to actively construct their own, entirely new knowledge. Because of this active building process, the teacher's role completely shifts. In a constructivist classroom, the educator acts as a facilitator rather than a strict director. Students are actively predicting, researching, investigating, and manipulating objects. Crucially, they are being taught how to learn, how to search, critique, and evaluate information, so they can draw their own insights rather than just being handed a list of facts to memorize. And that brings us to our final section, Section 4, Your Philosophical Heritage. Let's see how all of these diverse ideas build into your own professional identity. We are inheriting a very rich philosophical heritage. While there are stark differences among these 5 philosophies, they all profoundly impact the teaching-learning process. The most effective teachers often draw from this rich heritage, blending these approaches to best serve their specific students. It's like a giant puzzle you get to put together. So I want to leave you with this final prompt to really reflect on everything we've just covered. Think about the traditional mastery of essentialism, the adaptable experiences of progressivism, the deep reasoning of perennialism, the profound individualism of existentialism, and the hands-on discovery of constructivism. Based on all of this, when you finally step into that room, whose future are you building? And what ultimate truth will you guide them toward? The heritage is vast, but the philosophy is entirely yours to write. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.